I want to ask you about your reporting today that the Trump administration has detained a Cuban reporter who claims he's being accused of being a U.S. agent and that he is in danger in Cuba. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, this is a journalist who just got to the United States in April. He's been held for the past 3-4 months, and he is fighting to remain in the country. He's looking at potential deportation if he is not granted parole and later asylum. And it's an interesting case because it was only less than 2 years ago that he would have just stepped on U.S. soil and would have been welcomed in. But President Obama was first who changed the policies, the wet foot, dry foot policies that allowed Cuban migrants to remain. Trump has kept those policies up, and it shows how difficult it is now for Cubans to come over. That someone with such a, arguably compelling case against a government that the Trump administration has said is working politically against us, and he's still facing these challenges.
It is interesting because in previous years the U.S. would have bent over backwards to help sort of Cuban dissidents come to the U.S. And I think in your article you pointed out that maybe there were 30 Cubans who requested asylum last year who received it, and this year there have been none so far. Is that correct?
It's none so far. Certainly, there are still a few months, but it is quite eye-opening that Cubans as well are being impacted by some of the changes in the asylum rules. We need to do some more reporting on that, but it is fascinating that in the past, there were so few because they didn't need it. Now that they need it, you would expect those numbers to go up much higher. And as you point out, and as we point out in the story, there have been 0 that have been granted this year, and it raises a lot more questions that we'll be looking into.
Indeed. Franco Ordonez, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And for more political